Hi, gang. It's Kale.
And Patrick.
Coming up on today's episode, we get Patrick's full trip report from D23 and Disneyland. As always, we discuss the latest Disney news, and we close out the show with some quick D. All that and more on today's episode of Gays Do the D.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Kale, fill in all available space. English.
Patrick, Tom's house was broken into. He confronted the burglar and then had to go have eye surgery. And then my son had to go over and help. And then my son, he rolled his car 5 times on the way home. Yeah, I'm under a lot of stress. Kazuki!
Wow. I have no idea what that's from. Am I supposed to know that?
Well, probably, but it's fine. I'm sure there's like 1 or 2 people laughing somewhere. Mark and Roger.
Great. Got it. Well, okay, so you have to let us know what that's from now.
That is a very famous quote from Erica Girardi of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Super famous.
It is her memoir, beginning to end. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Kale, accessible to all people, English.
Everybody.
Everyone gets your jokes. Everybody here on Gays Do the D, especially me. Kale, however are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I can't complain. I cannot complain. I'm back from my trip. The weather here in Minnesota has dropped to 50 degrees already, so it's fall.
It was 79 in Atlanta this week, so it's winter. It's coming.
Oh, we couldn't be more opposite, could we?
No. So are you? How are you with the cold weather in Minnesota? You probably don't know anything else. It's probably like what, like 30 like in July. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. 100% that. I happen to love chilly. I like a jacket weather. I love sweater weather. I'm all about it.
Same. I like sweater. I like sweater jacket fashion. I don't know if I like sweater jacket weather. I hate being cold. I'm a miserable B word when I'm comfortable. When I'm uncomfortable in the cold, it's hell hath no fury like a kill, slightly inconvenienced.
Yeah, never come to Minnesota that I don't want to experience. Your attitude from that. I feel like with the weather, I can always warm up, so I would prefer to be cold, but I can never cool down enough when it's too hot outside.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly how I feel too.
But you don't like the cold, though.
No, I hate the cold.
Great, you're confusing me already. I feel like I've taken some pills, apparently.
No, you're correct. There is a sense of like when you're hot, there's almost nothing you can do about it. Do you know what I mean? And so it's more inconvenient to be hot.
Fair enough.
But I hate being cold more. When it comes to, it's okay. Think about it this way. This is right. It's inconvenient sometimes to get into a Disney park. There's a long line. You have to park. You have to walk from the parking lot. Take the A train to the. You know what I mean? And then you get there and you're happy. That's sort of like the heat.
Only just $1 million gems like this here on Gays Do the D, everybody. Insights that no one else has.
$5 jokes, guys.
You're precious. You're very precious. We have a lot of episode to get into today, though. So what do you say we jump right in?
I say, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's start out with our celebrities here on Gays Do the D, our Tweedles, shall we?
Yes.
Yes, we've got some Tweedle feedback to talk about. Let's start with Parker, who's writing in from Instagram at ADVParker. Parker says, I had to wait for this episode, he's talking about last week's episode, so I could be absolutely certain that what I'm about to say is true, but I can now declare with full confidence that all of the new co-hosts are absolutely, undeniably, unquestionably, without a doubt, or so help me Lord, hella fabulous and super wonderful additions to the GDTD podcast. Kale, JT, and Ryan are all super delightful, and it's been such a joy to learn a little more about them over these last few episodes. Adam, you will be missed, but the podcast is indeed in good hands. Can't wait to see what's next for all of you. Much love. Aww.
Parker.
Parker, I wish I could agree with you. I really want to.
Okay, I agree with you, Parker. Yeah.
Just kidding, of course. Yes, absolutely agree. Every single episode, one after the other, all three of you guys introducing yourselves to the world has been just better and better and better. So well done, all three of you.
Aw, thank you so much, Parker. Moving on to Joe on Instagram as Joe Bethan. Did you see that they are finally building your Zootopia in Dinoland, USA? I know Disney execs stole that idea from you, which means they are fans of your show. Also, I was recently listening to an old episode, and I think it was a Peter Pantsers or Quick D question about who would play you in a Disney movie. So, I just finished watching Only Murders in the Building with Steve Martin and Martin Short. I think you are so a young man, Martin Short. Please take that as a compliment, as he is an all-time great. Welcome to JT, Ryan, and Kale. You are all so sweet and funny. Miss you, Adam. Also, so excited to be walking with the Pride group at the high school where I teach. Yes! Trying to be an ally you'd be proud of. Aw, we are. Love you all, you fabulous guys.
We are very proud of you. I don't know. Do I take that? Apparently, I do take that as a compliment that I'm a young Martin Short.
I'm an old Steve Martin, and he's already... I mean, he was up there when I was born, so...
Yeah, but he still looks amazing.
Oh, well, thank you.
No, he looks amazing.
No, I get what you're saying. I can read through the lines, yeah.
Well, thank you, Joe. I hope the walk was delightful. Thank you so much for being an ally.
Yes, thank you, Joe.
And also, of course, thank you, Parker. Thank both of you for writing into us. We always love hearing some Tweedle feedback, so keep that feedback coming. Moving on, Kale, we have a topic to talk about that has been years and years in the making, and in our souls, in our hearts. The trailer for the live-action Little Mermaid was finally dropped during the D23 Expo, and the whole world got to see it kind of at the same time. Kale, I know this is a movie that is very dear to you, important to you, I would say. So I would love to hear your thoughts before hearing my thoughts and before having a little discussion about some of the other discussions that are happening, I guess,
right.
about this trailer.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously I've been stoked for this for years. I was insanely excited at the casting decisions they made all the way around, and have been looking forward to this trailer since the day that happened. And it did not disappoint. I mean, if anything, I think it was better than I ever really could have imagined it to be. I mean, you know, part of me kind of thought that they were going to give us... Do you remember the first initial trailer for the live action Beauty and the Beast, where we saw, like, at the end of it, a very small fraction of Belle's face? And even that was like enough to sort of get you. And then it, you know, it was a little better than the movie, but you know, it was like it. But I mean, the fact that I feel like the trailer gave us so much, right? Like we got to see her full look. We got to hear her sing the song, right? I mean, the trailer looks... I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't know what I was expecting, but it blew away any expectation that I did have.
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%. I know you and I have been talking about this since the announcement of the initial cast, right? And what it's going to be like and how exciting it is, and how, you know, finally we're getting some amazing representation. And let's be very clear, Halle Bailey is a perfect choice for Ariel specifically, right?
Listen, I couldn't agree more. I mean, just I mean, talent-wise alone, yes. But then personality, I mean, just the amount of sort of charisma and poise that she holds, and just this maturity, even though she's such a young woman. I mean, it really is. I wonder why that skipped me.
Yeah, she's got this charisma, absolutely, but she's got this effervescence about her that is so engaging and so likable and so innocent, yet she is still, as you said, a young woman coming into her own. It's an absolute perfect fit. It's as though the world was like, let's wait till she's ready. Let's wait till she is specifically of the age to play this character, and we're gonna jump on it.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And her sister, I mean, I know we're focused on Hallie right now, but her sister is, I mean, also so charismatic, insanely talented. I really think that this is just the beginning for the both of them. You know what I mean?
100%. Yes, absolutely.
I'm so excited.
So excited. Couldn't be more excited. You're right. We got, when I was first watching the trailer, I was like, oh man, they're just going to tease us, aren't they? They're just going to show her fin. They're just going to show maybe an arm or a hand or something.
Right.
And then, right, she started singing. And I was like, oh no, I'm not ready for this. Right. I don't think I'm emotionally there yet.
No. Also, I have to say the word singing is maybe an understatement for what she did to that song. I mean, but you're right. The small clip of her in the ship and she sort of opens the door. I was like, oh, that's her. Yeah. That's what we're getting until next May. But it was man, just absolutely outstanding.
And then we have to address, clearly, she's a woman of color, right? And this is new territory, sadly, but it is new territory for Disney.
Very much so, yeah.
But I do have to applaud for at least this clip, right? That not only did they have this beautiful black woman in braids as Ariel, they also let her do her own thing vocally with Ariel, not veer too far from it, but to like give it her own little flavor. I was really proud of Disney.
No, you're absolutely correct. It was very true to the character, super true to the character. But I love the fact that even after, I mean, I not to get too deep, but remember when she was initially cast, there was a lot of hashtag not my Ariel, which was disappointing, upsetting, right, heartbreaking, even. And the fact that they didn't at any point really go into this saying, well, we'll try to make it as close to the original Ariel as we possibly can. I mean, there's, a same tint of hair, the color, the same tint of color scheme throughout the fins and the, the seashells and whatnot. But the fact that they fully let her embrace this as a young woman of color.
Yeah.
I mean, kudos.
Yeah.
It's exactly what we need.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see more of it, and not to dive too deep into it because we all know the discussions that are happening now after the trailer. I think things got a little bit worse, right? For backlash and for people, the hashtag not my Ariel, the garbage basically that's out there. And I want to believe, and I fully believe that our tweeters out there listening, you are not the audience for this message, but maybe we have some I don't know, words of wisdom that we can pass on to you, that you can pass on to other people. But this Ariel is for everybody, and everybody the people saying that it's not for them. It's especially for them. Those are the people who need to see more representation in the world as well. You know what I mean?
I couldn't agree more. And also, I'm going to say, if you see someone online who has a very negative opinion about this casting choice, do not engage. If seeing a young child looking at a screen and hearing them say, she looks like me, is not enough, they're not worth your time. I'm being completely serious.
100% that. And I mean, let's be very clear, and you can look up many more instances of this, but I wanted to give everyone just a little list of when this has gone in the opposite direction and nobody had a thing to say about it. When white people played characters of color and whitewashed Hollywood. Let's get into just a small list, and Disney is a little bit responsible for a couple of these instances.
Very guilty.
As well. We had Emma Stone playing Allison Nig, a woman of Chinese and Hawaiian descent, in the movie Aloha. We had Jake Gyllenhaal playing the title role of the Prince of Persia, which he very much is not Persian.
He's not Persian.
He's not Persian. A Disney movie. We had Mickey Rooney way back in the day, horrifically playing Mr. Yunioshi, a Japanese man. Breakfast at Tiffany's.
I know. Yeah. The most cringeworthy performance of all time.
It's bad. It's real bad.
It's
we had Rooney
horrible.
Mara. Yeah, we had Rooney Mara recently playing Tiger Lily in Pan. We had Joseph Fiennes playing Michael Jackson in the movie Urban Myths. You could argue that Katniss Everdeen from The Hunger Games was supposed to be a woman of color due to her description in the book, and Jennifer Lawrence is certainly not that. Scarlett Johansson was cast as Motoko Kusayangi in the movie version of the anime series Ghost in the Shell, not Japanese. Also, the very not Japanese Justin Chatwin played Goku in Dragon Ball Z. And here's one that I didn't know, and on this one. In the novel that inspired the movie Pay It Forward, the lead character in the novel was a black man named Ruben St. Clair. The movie then turned that lead character into a white man named Eugene and cast Kevin Spacey in the role.
Yeah, they made several mistakes there.
I mean, this is just honestly a fraction of the atrocities that we have done in the other direction. And I want to be very clear that Ariel being portrayed by a black woman is nowhere near any of that disgustingness. This is just the world giving us representation that is far overdue.
Absolutely.
So, I don't think we need to get any further into that.
No.
We don't need to talk about it more. Again, we're preaching to the choir here to all of you Tweedles out there. But as Kale said, just don't engage. Embrace the love. Embrace the beauty of what Disney is doing here, and embrace the gorgeousness that is that has always been Halle Bailey.
Yes.
And go see The Little Mermaid, coming out into theaters May 26, 2023.
Hey, Patrick.
What up, Kale?
if ever you hear me say, hey, Patrick, like that, it's because Patrick on the fly told me to come up with a segue. So here we go.
There we
Patrick, did you receive a Disney Plus Dropbox in the mail?
Why, no, Kale.
Well, I did. And let me... Okay. So I don't remember signing up for this. It could have been a Saturday night, which, as we know, that those are typically spent in a blackout. But I don't recall signing up for this. But it did not cost anything. Am I wrong there?
I can't confirm or deny that, but no, I believe this was free to a select amount of Disney Plus subscribers.
Good. So, would you like to know all of the fun things inside of my box?
Oh boy, problematic.
I'm sorry.
Well, first of all, let's back up a little bit and tell us about why you got this Disney Plus Dropbox.
Okay.
Or at least why you think you got it, because you were clearly in a drunken stupor when you ordered it.
Okay, so I was in a drunken stupor when I ordered it, apparently, allegedly, right? But I was one of when Disney Plus first was like, sign up for us, I was like one of the founding members, and then did like a yearly subscription to that, like to automatically, like, I don't even know who pays for it anymore, but whatever. But so I guess this was for select individuals who signed up for that founders package. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So I love that I know more about this than you do, and you actually got one of the boxes.
I know. I'm sorry. But
so an email went out to all the people who were, and I think they did call them founding members of Disney Plus, right? Who subscribed right away.
That's what we're called. It's what they called us. Yes.
Off the jump, I am one of them as well. But I missed the email because I delete most emails in my inbox. If you email me, I'm probably not going to see it.
Oh,
so,
I know.
You clearly did. Well, I don't know if you saw it, but you clicked on it. And you clicked resubscribe or please send me this box. It was basically a gift to people who were resubscribing to Disney Plus after their 3-year grace period or whatever it was. Ended.
That makes sense. Well, so do you want to know what was inside of my box?
Oh gosh, we're there again. Okay, yes, Kale, please.
Okay.
Open up your box and show the world, please.
Oh, here we go. So inside of this box, there is a lot of stuff that would be a real waste of time and money if it were not for free. But so it came with it's all Frozen themed, Frozen and Frozen 2 themed. It came with 2 Frozen 2 lollipops, raspberry flavored. It came with a snowflake ice tray mold, like if you wanted to have little snowflake ice cubes in your, well, they're not called ice cubes then because it's not a cube anymore. Snowflake
Ice sculptures.
Ice sculptures in your drink. It came with a little like stationery set, like an art set, like for a Saturday night blackout, right?
Okay, that's kind of cute.
It also came with these sort of like small cups that you could put ice cream in, and then a matching spoon that looked like they were frozen. It's like fun stuff for like the kids, but I was sort of like, better job.
Yeah, it sounds like one of those kits of stuff that you're like, I'm totally going to use this, and you literally never ever use it.
Absolutely. I mean, it was still exciting to open it. Like it was. I was like, huh, and then it's sort of like, do you know the excitement of opening up a Run Disney box? Like when you do like the virtual, like and you get like your box of metal. Yeah. The anticipation of opening up that box to when I get it open, it's the hardest.
Yeah, your expectations were real high then if you thought it was going to be those beautiful medals and t-shirts.
I don't remember ordering it. I had no idea what was supposed to be in it.
That is so funny. Based on all of the items in that box, I'm surprised there wasn't like a Frozen 2 shoehorn as well, like things that you just don't need.
Right. Yeah, a how-to guide on occult and selling your soul to Satan with Elsa and friends.
Well, that I need. I do need that, though. So that would be useful. Okay, well, good to know. This is a Disney Plus Dropbox that we're talking about here, and I think it is a thing you can subscribe to as well, this Disney Plus Dropbox. But it sounds like, based on Kale's critique of this one at least, maybe not so much worth the money.
It was worth it if it is free. If it is not free, I would say...
Great.
I would say try again, but...
So again, not worth the money. Yeah. Interestingly, I wonder why they didn't do like Andor or something that is relevant right now on Disney Plus, or even the new season of High School Musical or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, why Frozen?
It was random that it was all Frozen and Frozen 2 themed stuff. Like, I mean, it's. I sort of feel like to me, like Encanto right now is sort of the like new Frozen, right?
Sure,
as far as like the kids going crazy for it. And so I can tell you that like if I took a box of Encanto themed items to my niece and nephew right now, they'd go crazy for it, right?
I would too.
Same. But like me taking this Frozen 2 stuff, they'll probably just be like, oh, we're not home today, There. Yeah.
Leave it at the door, sir.
Yeah.
Leave it at the door.
Right.
All right, fair enough. Okay, well, congratulations on your Frozen 2 Dropbox. Someone out there can expect a Dropbox on their doorstep that Kale is going to give to them. Probably you're going to pay it forward to somebody else, Kale.
Right, but better than Kevin Spacey.
I mean, that's a low bar. That's a low bar to reach, but fair. Amazing. Well, actually, you know what? Speaking of things to give away, we have a giveaway for the first time in forever. Kale, are you so excited? Oh, I like it. Good job. You did the air horn.
I have been practicing. Was it better than that one time?
It was better. It was better. I think practice some more, but it was good.
All right. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
No.
Just be better,
Okay.
So, yeah, in that vein, we do have a giveaway. Actually, not one giveaway, not 2 giveaways, not 3 giveaways, but we have 4 items to give away.
4 items to give away.
Wow. Oh, boy. Way to, like, build up expectation.
I'm sorry.
And now I have to like tell people it's not 6.
No, but Great. you got me excited. It was a slow build up.
Okay, well, anything after that Disney Plus box, I guess, is
golden, right?
Fair enough. So, as Tweedles know from our last episode, this is our 4-year anniversary, and it's also Halloween season, just our favorite time here at Gays Do the D. So, here's what we're giving away to our Tweedles. One lucky winner will get a Daisy Duck 2022 Halloween Parks pin from Disneyland from my most recent trip to Disneyland.
What?
They can't see you, Kale. Kale's doing a pose right now.
It's called a dab.
Dabbing?
Are you?
Use dabbing. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sorry. I forgot.
That's cute.
Everybody at home.
Okay.
Will you just describe my poses each time you name an item? Go.
Okay, so the Daisy Duck 2022 Halloween Parks pin from Disneyland. Kale is dabbing right now. And one very lucky winner will get a $50 Disney gift card. Kale's now doing the Home Alone, oh my goodness, scream face.
Oh,
I guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it is. But wait, there's more. I did say there are 4 items to give away. That's because all of our Patreon members are automatically entered into 2 separate drawings for their own same prizes. So one of them will get the pin and one of them will get the gift card. There is nothing you need to do as a Patreon member to enter that drawing.
Nice. That was sweet of you to think about everybody else while you were on your trip.
Well, I have to be the heart of this operation, Kale.
You know what? He's not wrong, folks.
Kale, do you want to tell our Tweedles at home who are not Patreon members, even though they should be Patreon members, how to enter this contest?
Yes, I will, because I'm the brain. Okay. So head on over to our Instagram at GDTD Podcast. If you aren't already, follow us. Like the post featuring the image of the pin and the gift card, and comment by tagging 3 of your Disney-loving friends, and you're entered to win. To obtain a second entry, repost our post and tag us at GDTD Podcast, or add it to your stories and tag us. Entries will be accepted up until 6 p.m. on Sunday, October 2nd. That is one day before Mean Girls Day, October 3rd. The winner will be contacted via DM, direct message, shortly after that to get their mailing info, and their name will be announced on our Monday, October 10th episode.
And we should also say our Patreon winners will also be announced on that episode, and we already have your information, so you are set to go.
We have all your info.
Every single thing we know.
Every
where you live.
Single thing.
All of it. We should also say that this giveaway is in no way affiliated with or sponsored by Disney or Instagram. So good luck to all of you Tweedles out there who are going to vie for these prizes. Thank you in advance for spreading the word about this as well. And if you don't happen to be a winner of one of these giveaways, you know what? Everyone's a winner because we're coming up on This Week in Disney History, Kale.
That's right. So don't frickin' cry.
Dry your tears. It's ready to have a history lesson. Well, let's jump right in. 69 years ago, Kale, on September 26th, 1953. Wow, you just couldn't hold it in, could you? Good job. Good for you. Walt Disney made a phone call to Herb Ryman that would set in action the plans for Disneyland as we know it today. Though he was not yet a Disney employee, Walt asked Ryman if he would help him sketch some concepts for an idea he had for a theme park. That weekend, known as the Lost Weekend, the two came up with concept art that Roy Disney took with him to pitch to investors on that following Monday. The pitch was a success due in large part to Ryman's artwork, and he would go on to work as a production designer, art director, illustrator, and Imagineer for the next 50 years.
The phone call that changed the world.
The phone call heard and seen around the world, I guess you could say.
That's right.
What an epic day, though. Like, I love these moments in Disney, these little tiny moments that, like, literally change the course of history. Do you know what I mean?
No, absolutely. Yeah, it's like, I always love that story that, I mean, Jodie Benson tells it every place she goes, which, as you always say, she goes to the opening of an envelope, but she always tells...
Don't make me sing.
Right. She always tells that story of when they were like pre-screening Little Mermaid, and during Part of Your World, that one child dropped the popcorn bucket, and how Part of Your World that day almost got cut. Even though it's like, I've heard the story a billion times, it's still always exciting to me that day almost completely ruined a film for me that I didn't even know was going to be my favorite.
Right. Like if one thing had changed that day.
Yeah.
Like if Herb Ryman was like, nah, I'm busy that weekend, you know, like, would we have Disneyland today? Who knows?
Or if he were busy because like an American person was like, no, your name is pronounced Herb.
Wow.
And then he gets into a fight. People don't like it when their name is mispronounced at all.
You know what, Kale? When you're right, you're right. That is an exact example of what would have happened that day.
They would have spent the whole day fighting. He wouldn't have made a phone call.
Wow. Talk about sliding doors.
Yep. I know.
Oh boy, we have to move on because that was weird. Let's move on to a birthday, shall we? 119 years ago, Kale, on September 27th, 1903, sound supervisor, designer, and engineer Robert O. Cook was born in Manitowoc, Wisconsin. Now, Cook worked for Disney from 1930 to 1971 in various roles within the sound department. Now, just a few of his credits include Make Mine Music, Cinderella, Lady and the Tramp, Old Yeller, Pollyanna, Bedknobs and Broomsticks, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, and Mary Poppins. He was nominated 3 times for an Academy Award for Best Sound for Mary Poppins, Bon Voyage, and The Parent Trap. And in 1947, he won an Academy Award for Technical Achievement in Sound along with C.O. Slyfield. Now, together, they designed and developed an audio finder and track viewer for checking and locating noise in soundtracks, which, if any of y'all have a podcast out there, you may know that this is very, very important technology.
Yes, as many times as we stop to go, wait, Rapunzel's barking. Yeah. Sorry, you can hear the chickens. But yeah,
right.
That's amazing technology. Imagine being that person.
Yeah, I mean, again, something that like changed the course of history as we know it, like something that really like is super important that you never would have thought about before of like, oh yeah, someone had to develop that to make anything you hear sound good.
Like he was having coffee one morning and was like, you know what? Background noise, I'm sick of it.
I'm tired of it.
Right. And people were like, what are you even talking about? You can't get rid of some noises and keep others. And he's like, yeah, try me.
Watch me do it. Watch me do it. And then he did it and won an Academy Award for it.
And then here I am today ironing my clothes while recording a podcast.
So you have Robert O. Cook to blame for Kale in your ears right now.
Okay.
I mean, to thank. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said blame.
That's fine.
It's such a weird thing.
It's cool.
Oh, dear. Well, that is this week in Disney history. And thanks to Robert O. Cook, we are going to be able to locate a lot of the noise in Kale's news segment so we can edit it out.
Okay.
Here comes the news, edited in thanks to Robert O. Cook.
Patrick.
Yes, Kale?
I have some Bob Chapek news for you.
Oh, okay. This is maybe controversial. Okay,
yeah,
great.
You ready?
Always.
Okay. Disney CEO Bob Chapek says that Disney Plus will become a consumer engagement platform deeply integrated with the theme park experience. When asked if this would make the platform more costly, Chob Bapik explained, "Of course not. It's a free serve." What? Oh, I could have swore it was free. So it's not free then? I thought it was. Okay, then probably yes.
Wow. So none of that is true, what you're saying right now.
I can't find out what he meant by this Disney Plus information. I researched it. Mm-hmm. I did my job.
Okay, great. So your story is a non-story then, is what you're telling us right now.
I think it was important. So what do you think this means? I wanted to bring the focus back to you. Sorry. But but what do you think this means? What kind of things do you see coming from Disney Plus that'll integrate it more to the parks?
Well, they're being so vague about these little announcements that they're doing lately about this, right? Yeah, we sort of talked about it in our last episode. I chatted with Ryan about it in the news segment, in fact, about how the Washington Post was digging into a story that apparently some execs at Disney have confirmed, though they have not talked about it yet, that Disney is investigating and may be unrolling soon a sort of Amazon Plus-like platform for Disney instead. So all of your experiences will be tied into one. You can tie in your Disney Plus watching habits in with your parks experiences, in with your shopping habits. Again, this is all hearsay, and
we're being Imagineers right now. This is not.
We're being, yeah.
We have no proof of any of this.
None whatsoever. We're Imagine queering the hell out of this right now. But apparently, some people have broken that Bob Chapek is now talking about this as well, but he's being incredibly vague about it. So we don't really know.
Vague. Yes. Well, I have more news.
Oh, I'd love to hear about it.
Yes. So Disney CEO Bobbert Peacock says that increases in ticket prices are due to higher demand. Boob Capiche went on to say further that Disney superfans can be quite demanding, and this just in, grass is green. This comes after slight backlash regarding the heightened cost of theme park entry, as well as constraints on visit frequency. It's all going to be okay, explained Backpack. Now please enjoy your time at Universal Studios. What? No? Okay, hold on. So where do I work? Wow. So when we say news segment, you mean just confuse all of our Tweedles segment? So what are your thoughts on that though? Like, do you think that the demand of people of essentially like us diehard park goers going to the park, do you think that that's really causing that much sort of inflation of ticket prices?
Well, let's unpack a little bit of what, because this is your news story, Kale, after all, and so I don't want to be the one who has the knowledge about your news story, but unpack a little bit about like what actually is going on here. Like, what did he sort of actually allude to? Yeah,
so from my understanding from the article that I read, the couple articles I read, it's essentially it's implying that because of the high demand from people who go to the parks very frequently, like weekend goers, people who go every month, annual pass holders, the Disney super fans was a word that they used in the article. I actually don't know if that was used by Bob Chapek or if it was used by the writer of the article. But I think that what it's implying is that by raising ticket prices, right, that it's going to, I guess, sort of stop people from going so frequent so that more people have the ability to go, is what I think that they're hoping for. But I don't necessarily know if I see that happening.
Yeah, what I gleaned from it is I think they were specifically addressing, because they got a lot of backlash for the new annual pass holder prices for Disneyland, right? How there are only blackout dates. Like there is not a Disneyland ticket, I believe, right now for an annual pass holder without blackout dates.
Right.
Which caused a lot of uproar. And they were all also increased in price. And so hear me out, folks. I am going to side on the side of Bob Chapek here for a little bit. I do actually think that he's right. I do think that annual pass holders given carte blanche to the parks, especially when like new things are happening and when giveaways are happening, do tend to flood the parks. Is that their prerogative? Yes, it absolutely is. They have been given that carte blanche, right? And it then when they do flood the parks with annual pass holders only and people who are on vacation can't get into the parks, it then no longer creates an accessible park for everybody. And I understand that. I know that there's layers behind that need to be uncovered, but I do think that is a situation that they have found themselves in.
Very much so. I have to agree with you. You know, I think that sometimes I feel like the way, I guess, that they sort of treat it is as if the annual pass holders don't go into the park and spend money, because I can tell you, even though I'm an annual pass holder, I'm never broke like I am coming back from a Disney trip, right?
Right. Yeah, very that.
But it's still, you're correct. If you weren't an annual pass holder and every time you were getting ready to go and you know, the park is at capacity, you know, because of annual pass holders, I could understand that being a bit frustrating. I don't know if I think that the increase in price of it is necessary. I think that they could do one or the other, either blackout dates or an increase in price. I think that the two together seems a little extreme, but but I mean his name is so difficult to pronounce.
Yeah, I can see that fully. I will give you a direct example of this happening. Actually, after D23, the day after D23 closed, suddenly Disneyland had no availability to get into. And I think that's a direct example of a lot of annual pass holders flooding the parks, thinking that there was going to be a lot of giveaways or something happening in the Disney parks. And so a friend of mine had family coming in to meet him at Disney after D23, and they couldn't get into Disneyland. They had to go somewhere else, and so they had to all change their plans, and it was kind of a mess. That kind of thing happening to the general public, and when I say general public, I don't mean annual pass holders, is a problem. And I think they need to address that. It is a problem, however, created by Disney, not by annual pass holders. Absolutely.
I agree with you there too. That's a very unfortunate story. And it is a problem created by Babe Clearpack.
You're getting there. Someday you'll get it. It's fine.
All right.
Kale, I have a few updates to talk about in regards to Disney World that were not covered in the parks panel at D23 Expo. Now, first up, it's a kite tale as old as time for a show in Animal Kingdom's Discovery River Amphitheater. That's right, Kite Tales will have its final performance this September 30th, just 1 day shy of a full year since its inaugural disaster. What was a cute tagline for the show itself, what goes up must come down, now apparently refers to any show Disney tries to stage in the amphitheater.
That was good. You nailed that one. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Did you ever see Kite Tales?
I sure did.
No, I never saw it. Well, I take that back. The last time that I was there, me and the boys were walking to Expedition Everest and literally saw one of the kites crash into the yeah.
That tends to be the most frequent experience with Kite Tales lately. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, Kite Tales originally debuted on October 1st, 2021, and in May 2020, it was converted into what many people refer to me as a walk-by experience. What? Why are you laughing at me?
That was absolutely hysterical. I'm actually mad you came up with that one and not me.
Wow.
This is
thanks.
the most jealous I've ever been of you.
No word yet on what Disney will replace this show with, but sources are saying the new show will close in early 2023.
Bye, show.
So next up, we have rumors and wild speculations when it comes to Epcot's nighttime spectacular Harmonious. Now, at the D23 Parks panel, Josh Daddy DeMauro did announce that Harmonious would be going away to make room for a new show celebrating Disney's 100th anniversary. No specific timing was announced beyond late 2023, and DeMauro was careful not to say that Harmonious would be going away forever. But that did not stop the Disney community from stating opinions as fact.
It sure did not. It certainly didn't, right? Yeah.
No, not at all. So, in that vein, in my armchair expert opinion, again, this is an opinion, not a fact, but it's likely that Harmonious would close down around the same time as the ending of Disney World's 50th anniversary celebration, which is on March 31st, 2023. Now, if this guess is accurate, then they would likely need an interim show until the new show opens later that year, as stated by DeMauro, which would then mean that likely the most inaccurately named show, Epcot Forever, could once again come back for a limited run.
Patrick, this is the funniest you've ever been.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's hysterical. What were your thoughts on Harmonious?
I mean, I love Harmonious. I think it's a wonderful show. Do I hate those monstrosities in the middle of the lagoon?
Listen,
I sure do.
Yeah, that's literally my feelings to a T. I really enjoy watching the show, but looking out at the water and just seeing it's absolutely
during
awful.
The day. Yeah, there are no good photo opportunities anymore
at all
on that lake. It's really silly.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm hoping they're sort of doing like a bait and switch situation where they're actually gonna fix this problem with Harmonious and do this other show. Look over there, while we fix this,
right.
and then bring it back and be able to move those barges in and out as opposed to having them sit there all day.
I agree. Well, I mean, because it is a shame. I mean, the music is awesome. The animation is even like the waterworks. That it's they're such an beautiful eyesore. Yes,
they're an eyesore during the day.
Yeah. I also really liked Epcot Forever, which I think I might be one of like 10 people.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. It was cute. It was like, oh, this is cute, but this is a Band-Aid. This is not a show for me.
No, it was definitely a Band-Aid. Yeah.
Yeah. What a terrible name, though. What a terrible name.
It's going to come back and be Epcot forever and always.
Forever, permanently. And then
Right.
it's only
It still
interim.
ends, yeah. Epcot never going anywhere.
Epcot, try and stop me. Oh boy. Okay, so last but certainly not driest, there are now more ways to get turned in the Magic Kingdom.
Go ahead.
Okay. In addition to the beer and wine you can currently get at select dining locations, new cocktails are being added to a select few restaurants. Over at Skipper Canteen, you can now get a Jungle Bird featuring Gosling Black Rum with pineapple and lime juice, or a Golden Haze Margarita, which has Terramana Blanco Tequila, Grand Marnier, lime juice, and smoked chili bitters. And you can now black out at the Liberty Tree Tavern, or the Diamond Horseshoe with the Gold Rush, a new cocktail featuring Elijah Craig bourbon, lemon juice, and honey, or a Magical Beacon cocktail, which has Empress 1908 gin, blue curacao, lemonade, hibiscus grenadine, and a souvenir glow cube.
They have the glow cube. I can't. I can't.
Come on, everyone loves a glow cube.
No, the glow cube is the tangible equivalent of them trying to call and reach you about your car's extended warranty. I feel like I can't escape them.
They're gay culture, though. I feel like the souvenir glow cubes. They're gay culture now.
The cocktails sound amazing, though.
They do sound amazing. They do. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about? So obviously, right? We all know this. Disney World was once a dry campus,
yeah,
right? And then they started bringing in drinks, and then
because
Magic
nobody
Kingdom was the
fun.
only place. But
yeah, there was no fun whatsoever.
It was boring. It was just boring.
It was
and then
horrible.
the Magic Kingdom was the only place you couldn't get a drink of any
Yeah.
kind. And then Be Our Guest opened up, and they introduced wine, and now several places are serving beer and wine, and now cocktails. Are you on board? Are you like, it's a little too far?
Well, as an avid drinker who this is not a joke, wishes they were drunk right now, dead serious. As someone who really does like to partake in spirits, I would say I've always sort of, there's been almost like a comfort when going to Magic Kingdom that I'll remember the whole day. But I have to say, as much as like I don't care one way or the other as far as like if they sell alcohol or not, I will say that I will become upset if Magic Kingdom ever became something like Epcot. Does that make sense? Where you literally, I mean, I can tell you I go to Epcot sometimes to walk around, World Showcase and get a little tipsy and fun, and I kind of like that Magic Kingdom is not that. Do you know what I mean? And so I don't think that this is necessarily a huge step. Like, I don't feel like they're like, come get effed up at the Magic Kingdom. But it's,
What if that was their new tagline?
What if it was? What if it's when you drive through the welcome sign and it's just Mickey with his head in the toilet? Patrick.
Yas, Kale.
Did you just get back from D23?
Well, yes, I did. In fact, how did you know?
It's in the notes.
Fair. That's the only reason you know.
It's in the spreadsheet that you. Why haven't you looked at this? It says you haven't logged in 4 days. We record tomorrow. That
Fair enough.
The whole thing. Mm-hmm. Okay, so so exciting. This was your first time, right?
It was my very first time at the D23 Expo. I've been a D23 member for 3 years now, I think, but I've never gotten the chance to go to the expo.
So I'm just gonna like rip off the Band-Aid.
We're getting into it. All right.
Yeah. Why didn't you invite me? I'm a D23 member. It seemed like all of a sudden you were there and I wasn't.
I believe I have the receipts, Kale, that I did in fact ask you if you wanted to go to D23 Expo.
Oh, well then I guess I was probably busy.
You were busy at the time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was definitely. Oh, I had the thing.
Yeah.
So who did you go with?
So I went with my friends, the Canadian Tweedles.
Okay.
Nick and Dave. Yes, I also got to go with my good friend Laddie and his sister Mackenzie. Laddie is who I did my most previous January Run Disney with. So I guess I that's a false statement. It's not my previous Run Disney experience, but my January Run Disney, I did the half marathon with him.
I have never met a Mackenzie that was not an absolute blast.
Well, you will be wrong when you meet her because she was a disaster. No, just kidding. She was no. Mackenzie was fantastic. I had never met her. She and Laddie are 100% brother and sister. They are both such a good pair, and they were a delight to hang out with.
Oh, nice. Where did you stay?
I stayed at the Best Western Stovall's Inn. Try not to be jealous.
Not.
No, it was actually a really good location because it was kind of just right down the street, maybe 2 blocks away from the convention center where D23 was, and then maybe 4 blocks away from Disneyland.
Listen, I say that's how you do it. I love staying at if there's any type of work conference, work convention, stay away from the hotel that the conference. I'm serious. It's the absolute best. And then also, even when me and the Steamboat Willies, when we go to Disney, we stay at the Hilton across from Disney Springs. We rarely stay on property.
Yeah, Disney World for me is a different beast. I actually do like staying on property at Disney World just because of the convenience of the transportation and all that stuff. But when it comes to Disneyland, the hotels are, I'll just say it, a little out of my price range, especially for big events like this. And I'm like, why would I spend double the amount to stay just as close?
Okay, well, moving on, poor.
Wow.
So tell me your initial thoughts as a first-time attendee of D23.
I have to say, I am definitely going to go again. I thought it was, I had a blast. Obviously I'm coming at it from, this is intended for me, right? The D23 Expo is a super fan event, and it is
absolutely
geared, right? It's geared towards people like us, like all of our Tweedles listening right now. This, if you haven't gone, I recommend going at least once. It is a lot of fun. It's a lot of maintenance. It's a lot of work. It's a lot. It can be stressful.
Yeah.
There are things that are not going to go your way. Much like going to a Disney park, though, it's not. You're not going to do everything that's available. But. Yeah. It was worth it. The things that we did do, the people that we did meet, the people that we saw, the panels that we sat in on were absolutely just emotionally driven, heart driven for Disney fans. It was 100% an amazing time.
Nice. So I know you and I have talked since you got back, but what panels did you get to go to?
So this year they did it different than in other years. Now, remember, this is my first time, so I don't have experience what other years looked like. So I can only give you what this year looked like for me. It was a lottery. So a couple of weeks before the event itself, you sort of signed up for events that you want to be a part of, panels that you want to attend. And then Disney randomly selects what ones you're going to be in, because obviously there's a limited amount of space for each event. So I got on my initial run through was the Muppets Christmas Carol 30th anniversary panel, and also
that was, of course, your number one. That was
that. I really wanted to do that one, actually.
No, I'm not making fun. I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted to do that. I don't know if it was my number one that I wanted to do, but it was definitely up there. I was like, I gotta go see the Muppets. And then I also got the last day, the big parks experience panel, basically. So all the information about what's coming in the parks, what's coming in products, what's coming in Disney destinations around the world, basically, hosted by Josh Tomorrow. So I got those two. I did not get the D23 Legends induction panel.
Okay.
However, as luck would have it, one of my friends who did get it and had a +1 invited me as their +1. So I did get to go to it, which was nice to have.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. So, sitting through the parks experiences and products panel, were you just flabbergasted?
Now, are you using the word flabbergasted in a positive way or a negative way? Because I do have an answer for you.
Yeah, sorry. I forget we come from two different parts of the United States.
Yeah,
in a good
fair.
way. Yes, in a good way.
In a good way. I was actually. I know that there are a lot of people out there who had some negative things to say about what was said and what was more specifically not said at this panel.
Right.
But as a consumer, as a fan, they put on an amazing show. Josh D'Amaro is an amazing speaker, and I have to believe that he's being groomed to be the next CEO of the Walt Disney Company. And a lot of the stuff that they announced was incredibly exciting. They announced that well, you can look all this up on your own. I'm sure all of you already have done this, so we're not really announcing anything that's new information to most of you. But but for me, what was exciting was the announcement of Run Disney coming back to the California parks, which will bring me to Disneyland a lot more often, I feel like. So that's really exciting to see. The new Disney cruise ship looks incredible. The Disney Treasure.
Amazing.
Yeah. Amazing. They gave a lot of emphasis on the new Tiana ride and hinted that more is to come around the Princess and the Frog within the Disney park. So I'm very excited about that.
As it should,
as needs to happen. And as part of that announcement and part of that talk, I had the privilege and emotional experience to see one of my heroes, Anika Noni Rose, sing a medley from The Princess and the Frog, backed up by what I have to believe was like 80 backup singers and dancers and a full jazz band. It was amazing. Amazing.
I think I would have cried. I really think I would have cried.
Oh, I did. Believe me, Kale. There were moments throughout the expo that I just openly wept because it was such an emotional experience. Like, there's things that from your childhood that are coming to life right in front of your eyes here on stage. They really do create magic there.
I was joking. How embarrassing for you.
You got me again.
Okay, so tell me, like, from the overall experience, what do you think things that they're doing right, things they could improve on, what worked and what didn't work?
Oh, within the expo itself, you mean? Like how it was run? Good question. I mean, listen, there's one thing that is a certainty at the D23 expo, and it's that you're going to be waiting in lines for a very long time, especially for those panels, right?
Oi, yeah.
So what happens is, if you haven't been before, and again, this is coming from this year's experience only, but what happened was when you do have a chance to get to a panel, you basically go to the convention center very early in the morning, and you get in line, and you scan your badge to make sure that you have a place in that panel. They give you a little wristband that you put on your wrist, and you sit down and you wait for about 2.5 to 3 hours, depending on how early you got there. Just kind of sitting in one spot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Oi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you go by yourself, I can see how that would be a little daunting. Or
the best.
A little...
daunting.
Yeah, fair. Depending on where you are on the spectrum of introvert versus extrovert. Right. Yeah. It can be a little lonely, or it can be a little just like you literally standing or sitting for 3 hours. Luckily, I went with a group of people who, some of them got to go with me in some of these panels, and we just sat and chatted for a couple hours, and it was fun, and it was fine. And you just have to go into it expecting that to happen. Whether or not that works or doesn't work remains to be seen. It just kind of is what it is right now.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if I have a lot of negative feedback. I know that sounds like I'm coming from a rose-colored glasses kind of perspective, but I think you just have to go to an event like this and expect to wait for things and expect to not be able to do everything. You can't expect to be catered to 100% of the time. With 10,000 people plus in attendance, not everyone is going to have a VIP experience. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
It's just one of those things.
While you were there, you did get to meet up with fellow GDTD podcast co-host JT.
I did. Yes, absolutely.
Tell me, what is he like as a park buddy?
A monster, like a real monster in the parks.
I absolutely knew it. I really did. I know.
Yeah.
He is so hateful.
Real hateful. Yeah, absolutely. No, JT and I, we have been to the parks this is our third time now, I think, going to the parks at the same time. He's just a delight. You got everyone. He's a delight. You can't.
He's the most pleasant person. He honestly makes me look like a old boot.
Well, an old boot makes you look like an older boot. Kale.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
But seriously, JT, I would love to have gone and hung out with you guys. It's a shame you didn't invite me.
Yeah,
or that I was busy. I'm sorry that I was busy.
There it is. Yep, there it is. There it is. And not only did I get to hang out with JT, but I also got to hang out with his other co-host on his podcast, The Disney Buzz, Melanie, who's also just a treat to hang out with.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Be serious though. Do you think we're better than her?
Nobody is better than Melanie and JT, I would say. Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. Okay, Patrick, final question.
Of the day? We're cutting it short here?
Of everything. Probably ever. I have stuff to do the rest of my life. So,
perfect.
Okay, so it's let's say it comes back in 2024, right? Okay, let's look into the future. I'm going. Okay? Tell me all the advice you should give me as a first-time attendee.
Oh, interesting. I would say pack your patience, right?
Okay, then I'm not going. Never mind.
I know. Start getting into your Zen moments now, Kale, because you're going to need them
right.
Here's the thing, folks. It's a lot. It's daunting. It is basically a Comic-Con and a state fair and a high school reunion, like all packed into one thing. It's a lot of things to experience all in one time. Are moments of magic going to happen no matter what you do? Yes, absolutely. Are you going to be able to experience everything? No, absolutely not. We were talking, some of our friends, while we were waiting for things and in the expo itself, about how kind of with 10,000 people plus, right, in one big area over 3 days, if 100 things go wrong, that's still pretty good, I feel like, right? That like logistically.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean by pack your patience. Like, is everything going to go off without a hitch 100% of the time with something with a machine
so
as
massive,
big as that? There's just no way.
Right.
That is just, it's almost impossible to make that happen. But what Disney does best is they sprinkle in the magic. When you least expect it, you're going to turn a corner and see something that is going to blow your mind. When you least expect it, right, you're going to be sitting in a panel and all of a sudden your hero from your childhood is going to be on stage in front of you singing a song. It's going to blow your mind,
Yeah.
Moments like that happened every single day, at least twice a day, and I didn't get to experience half of, I think, what was offered at the D23 Expo. So you just got to keep in mind that there's so much to do. You can't do it all, but what you will do will be impactful to your life as a Disney fan.
That's amazing. I'm going to, right now, I'm going to go on Amazon and look for some patience. And I will be ready.
Yeah, I think we'll go to Amazon Smile and make sure that you designate a nonprofit that will be donated to. There you go.
Yes. So while you were there, though, you got to go to Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure?
Yeah, while we were there, so we were there for about 4 or 5 days, and during the day, obviously, we were at the expo, and then at night we would go to Disneyland or DCA, depending on what our day had in store for us. And we also got to do the Oogie Boogie Halloween Bash for D23 members.
Nice. So how is the Oogie Boogie Bash?
I mean, it's wonderful. I think Adam and I talked about it a while ago, probably 2 years ago, at least, when we got to go to Oogie Boogie Bash before the pandemic happened. Hot take from me, I think it's better than the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party in Orlando. I know a lot of people are. I know.
A podcast where all we do is tell lies now. Apparently,
so. No, I know, and I have experienced both. I do have firsthand experience of both. I will say the Sanderson sisters stage show at Disney World is amazing. Like,
It's amazing. Yeah.
nothing compares to it. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
But
Don't you forget that.
don't you forget it, absolutely. But I feel like the overall ambiance at the Oogie Boogie Bash is just a little bit more magical. There's a little bit more every time you turn a corner. There's an interesting experience. There's a great character. There's something that you haven't seen before. The ambiance overall, I would say, is just a little bit better at the Oogie Boogie Bash.
That, you know what? I've not been to Oogie Boogie Bash, but that actually does make sense to me. Sometimes I feel like Mickey's Not So Scary is a little bit repetitive. And by that, I don't mean because it's the same show every year. I mean, because it just seems like everywhere you look, it is sort of a little bit of the same. I mean, it's amazing, but yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think the Mickey's Not So Scary, right? There are some character experiences, and then there's the fireworks, the parade, and the stage show, and that's kind of it,
right?
Other than the trick or treat trails, but I don't know, for some reason I feel like the Oogie Boogie Bash is just a really complete story. Like from start to finish, it just, every single inch of it is detailed, and there's different unique experiences that you can do throughout the night. Even if you don't see the parade, and even if you don't see the nighttime show, there are something to do that will make your night worthwhile.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. I would agree with that. And I would say, on top of that, if they do it every year, if you can get a chance to be at the D23 night, it's worth it. It felt like it was lower attendance. It felt like it was a little bit more special. Go and try that. But that being said, I have been on a night when it wasn't a D23 night, and it was still magical, and I still loved it. So I recommend it. I recommend it to everybody.
So tell me all the food you got to experience of what I can only imagine is a lot.
Oh boy. Fair enough. Well, I'll start small and then go big. I feel like I did finally, Kale, have my very first, what is it called? The chicken kebab from the Bengal tiger booth in Adventureland. Everyone says it's a place to go, right?
Yeah.
I had never been. I finally got one, and I'm here to tell you, hot take, meh.
The chicken kebab chapek. I got it right. That was.
Wow, look at you. You got his name right, and you told a joke that landed.
I did.
I'm so impressed.
I'm getting
so
a raise.
I know. So here's the thing. A lot of people say that this is their favorite place to go. And was it good? Yeah. For me, I don't know if it was my favorite thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Am I fired? I might be fired from the podcast.
No, I get it. Sometimes it's disappointing when something is so built up and then you try it and you're kind of like, wham, wham. You know?
Yeah. And I don't know. Maybe that was it. Who can say? And maybe it was just a bad day. Maybe it was an off day for them.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I was like, oh, okay, that's a cute protein builder, I guess. Some pieces of chicken with some barbecue sauce. I don't know. It was good.
Wait, so it was whoa. So it was just like a chicken kebab in barbecue sauce?
I mean,
it was just barbecue chicken on a stick?
Yeah, kinda.
Patrick, if I would have seen it, I would have told you not to. I'd have been like, are you kidding?
This is what I'm saying. Folks, I know, sorry, if you can hear it in the background, my dogs are walking around and causing a muck, and that's fine. We were not going to edit it out because we're real people.
It's live, people.
It's live. Well, it's not live because we're editing it. But anyways, but yeah, it is literally, some grilled chicken on a skewer that is sauced, and the sauce is good. The sauce is good.
I could go downstairs and do all that right now. Like, that's why I like Dole Whip. I can't go downstairs and get a fruit and then cut it, and I don't know how it's made, but I couldn't make it. Yeah,
I feel like you just had a full panic attack in front of us here on the podcast, and I appreciate your bravery for that. But yeah, so hot take, but not my favorite. Not on my top 5 list. Not on my five list today.
So that was like the only cool food that you tried? This chicken kebab?
No, in fact, I did eat other things. But I will say, of note that I could talk about is I did get to have dinner at Carthay Circle, which is the first time I'd ever been inside of Carthay Circle. Our friend Laddie, he got us all a reservation in there, and we got to sit in this really amazing space tucked away within Carthay Circle, which was like a little I don't want to call it a VIP booth, but it was definitely, you know how when you go to a restaurant, sometimes there's like a little room that's tucked away that will seat a couple people. We got to sit in one of those called the Buena Vista room. It was, I have to tell you, if you ever have a chance to sit in that specific room, all of Carthay Circle is absolutely beautiful, but it was such a unique experience. You're sort of in this little booth surrounded by these really old photos of Walt Disney, photos that you kind of have never seen anywhere before that are, I have to believe, are specific to being inside of Carthay Circle. Of Walt Disney on his plane, Walt Disney sort of like greeting Julie Andrews at the premiere of Mary Poppins, photos of him at the screening of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It's absolutely beautiful. But beyond that, the food there, I am not an avid Disney food fan, as many people know. I've said it many times on the podcast. Like, there are very few places where I'm actually blown away by food within a Disney
I will
park.
agree with you. Yes.
I don't necessarily go to Disney to have my hair blown back by the food. But
right.
Yeah. But Carthay Circle, I will say, for the price, for what you're getting, my hair was blown back. It was absolutely delicious. I would recommend it. It's pricey. I will say that. It is not for everybody. It is not accessible or attainable for all income levels. But it is fantastic if you're able to get in and enjoy it and not break the bank.
Nice. Well, it does sound like you ate at a restaurant and sat in a booth.
It was basically Perkins.
It was.
No, it was absolutely fantastic.
Nice. I'm very glad.
Yeah.
So because of D23, what were the crowd levels like at the parks when you were there?
Oh, good question. So interestingly, during D23, the crowd levels at the park were very low. And I'm talking, we got onto rides like Indiana Jones, Big Thunder, some top tier rides, walk on, basically.
Oh, wow.
During the expo itself. Yeah, it was pretty incredible. Later on in the week, sort of after D23 had closed, things got a little bit more chaotic and hectic. As I said before, as I said before, sort of the day after D23 shut down, Disneyland was at capacity by like 9 a.m., which means pretty high levels of crowds.
Right, of course.
And on top of that, as we all know, California is sort of experiencing record highs in heat, or was at the time at least. It's dropped down a little bit, I guess. And so it was a little less desirable heat-wise, I would say. But, you know, that's not Disney's fault, obviously.
No, it's California's fault.
It's California's fault. They definitely caused global
they
warming,
did it.
for sure.
They absolutely.
No, but it wasn't that bad though. It's a pretty good time to go during the fall, like right before. I guess a lot of people are in school now, so maybe that had something to do with it. And because of D23, I think a lot of the locals were like, "No, thank you, no, ma'am, not going to go."
Okay, so not too bad.
No, not too bad. I would not. I'm not complaining whatsoever.
I think a Big Thunder walk-on worth anything.
Fair enough. Yeah, absolutely.
So of everything that you got to see, of everything that you witnessed, all the information you learned of upcoming events, films, park features, what was your favorite? What are you looking forward to the most?
Oh, interesting. I feel like I could ask this of you too, because I mean, you were watching and
The Little Mermaid. It's the Little Mermaid.
Fair. Fair enough. That's a really good question. I don't know what I'm most excited. Personally, I know this is a silly answer, but I think I'm most excited for Run Disney to come back to California because I've never experienced it before, and I would really love to run through the Disney parks, the Disneyland parks, for the first time in a Run Disney event. I think that's going to be a very magical experience, and I'm excited to go back to Disneyland more often because I really do love it there.
Yeah, nice. That's a good thing to be excited about. So we're going to move on, nerd.
Thank you. Oh, I love doing episodes with you because it humbles me. It really humbles me, Kale.
It brings you down a peg.
It really does.
As if you could be brought down a peg.
Wow. Wow.
So, Patrick, we have some Tweedles who have reached out to us on Instagram because we asked them to. and have some questions for you about your D23 trip and just questions for you in general. Are you ready?
I'm never ready, but let's do it anyways.
Okay. So at Leisure Mouse and at Sean Cruz both would like to know, is D23 worth it? And would you go again?
Ooh, great question. I do have to give a shout out to at Sean Cruz. I actually happen to know who he is. I met him on this trip. In fact, I met both him and Damien. Yes, they both went to the Muppets panel with me, which was, I can't stop talking about the Muppets panel. It was amazing. So, hi, Sean.
We get it.
Okay, great. So, yeah, I think I said it before, but I'll say it again. It was absolutely worth it. It is, it's pricey, but you are paying for an experience, a once-in-a-lifetime experience, right? Like, I got to see the cast of Frozen accept their Disney Legend awards and give a speech. The cast or the two main characters in Blackish, I got to see them accept their awards and give a great speech. It was absolutely amazing. I got to see Jodie Benson sing the Lost song from Muppet Christmas Carol. I mean,
yes.
Like I said, there are moments.
That's where our two worlds meet.
It's true. I know. I was thinking about that. Yes. We talked about that a little bit. Like when Jodie Benson for The Little Mermaid, one of your favorite movies, and her singing a song from one of my favorite movies, Matt, I was like, weird. This is weird.
Yes.
But moments like that, they are just never going to happen again. They only happen at D23. So if you are a diehard Disney fan, I think you should go at least once. I know it's a lot to experience. Does it need to be every year? Absolutely not. That's why I think it is every 2 years, because it's a lot to experience all in one trip. But I would 100% go again. And what you do see in the feed is great. Like, I'm sure all of you have seen all the news come through and all the hullabaloo, and it's great, and you all have your own opinions. But it will be different when you see it announced live. I promise you, because not only are they announcing The Little Mermaid, right? And the trailer, but Halle Bailey came out on stage and said hello.
I know, yeah.
You can only experience it there.
No, you're correct. As much as I enjoyed everything that was on my feed, it did give me wicked FOMO. But maybe next year someone will invite me. But
wow.
Whatever.
Okay.
Tweedle at Mark's Jeep Go Beep, a man after my own heart with his Instagram handle, would like to know, how likely, in your opinion, do you think some of the blue sky ideas will happen?
Great question. Okay, so should we unpack what the blue sky ideas are, or what he's alluding to?
Take it away, PK.
Okay, thanks. So during the parks panel with Josh D'Amaro, they talked about some ideas that they are messing around with within the Disney parks. Specifically, the majority of them were within Disney World. They were talking about sort of beyond Big Thunder. There's some real estate apparently in Disney World, in Magic Kingdom, behind Big Thunder Mountain,
right?
That they could expand and give us more of Magic Kingdom. They were very careful to say that this is nowhere in the near future. This is stuff that they are talking about. But they did say that just because they are being very careful not to give any details doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It just means that this is stuff that Disney really wants to happen, and we'll see what happens, right?
Right. We're not yet crowning.
Fair enough. That's a graphic way to say that, but yes, absolutely that. So they did talk about bringing in Encanto and Coco, and most importantly, bringing in a villains section in Magic Kingdom.
No. How amazing.
Amazing. It was really great. It was a clear indication. Here's my opinion on all of that. It was a clear indication that Disney is just telling us, we are listening to you.
I agree. Completely.
Right?
Yes.
These are ideas that you have crowdsourced for us. This is what you want as fans, and we are listening to you, and we are trying to figure it out. I know I feel like I need to take this opportunity to say there was a lot of people who posted immediately a lot of negative stuff about this parks panel because Disney wasn't giving a lot of details, wasn't giving a lot of specifics. And I have to say, folks, you have to remember we're still in a pandemic. Right. There is still a labor shortage. There is still a materials shortage. We are not out of the thick of it. This is not 2019. This is not 2017. This is not 2015 anymore. We're in a different place in our lives right now. Where nobody really can guarantee that something is going to happen tomorrow, 5 years, 10 years from now.
Absolutely. And it was, I mean, when I remember reading about it, but some of it was a little bit vague, but at the same time, it is important that they're listening to us, not just because of things that we want for the pure satisfaction, like a villain's park, right?
Yeah.
But I really feel like a lot of the announcements they made, they're listening to us about diversity, about inclusion, representation. Like that's important. Yeah.
Yes. I feel like 90% of the things that they announced specifically at the parks panel had a lot to do with diverse characters in the parks, with diverse experiences in the parks, things that they really want to happen. And as you just said, and it's a direct result of the demand from guests and from fans of Disney. And so do I know that any of these things are going to happen? No. But am I glad that Disney is saying we are listening? 100% yes. It's about time, and now's the time to do it.
Perfect. Moving on. At AEvans16, who was the most attractive speaker you heard from?
Great. Wonderful question.
Yes.
I mean, can we all agree that Josh D'Amaro can get it? Right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, my standards are not notoriously high, but yes, yeah, sure.
Fair. Wow. I hope your husband is listening to this right now.
Josh yesterday could get it.
Look, you made a little joke.
I did. It was cute, wasn't it? Yeah.
I will say, I did get to see Jonathan Groff live and in person on stage, and boy, do I have a new crush on him.
Next.
I know. I didn't before, but listen, hear me out. Jonathan Groff gave a speech that was all about being gay. Like he specifically was saying, I'm saying gay here at Disney.
Because he thinks he's the only one.
Okay. But he was clearly delivering a message of hey, Disney, you are including me and I am gay and I'm not going to be quiet about it, and now I'm a Disney legend, so suck on it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you can you can be a good person, but still not get it. You know what I mean? Still not get it. That kind of thing. That kind of get it. Get it as in get it. Yeah.
To each their own. Also, Patrick Dempsey, I have to tell you, was rocking a silver fox hairdo. Like he is full white hair now. I was here for it.
Patrick Dimps me. Okay.
Wow.
Can't Buy Me love Patrick Dempsey.
Wow.
Patrick Dempsey, come on, bring it.
Yeah, into it, and with the
stay put. I'll bring it.
I'll come to you. I'll travel. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. Have thirst will travel. Absolutely.
Okay, moving on. At Jedi Trousers, what was the best and or weirdest item of merchandise you saw?
That's a funny question. I like that. Okay, I have to. Okay, listen, folks. I can't get on board with the munchlings. I can't. I don't.
I cannot. So it's a character in a food. It's a plush.
Yeah, it's a mashup of a Disney character, a Disney parks snack, and a scent as well.
And a scent? They smell?
Yeah. For instance, I did buy I love a mystery pack. I was like, I got to see what this is. So I got a Munchlings mystery pack. Open it up, and it was a Pete, like the villain Pete from the Disney classics, as a fudgesicle that smelled like chocolate. And I was like, oh, I'll give this to my dog as a toy. Like, I don't know. It was not it.
You're absolutely not supposed to give your dogs chocolate.
Well, it's not made of chocolate, Kale. It's just a plush, but let's move on. I think that you don't understand what products are. But,
okay.
No,
all right,
okay.
Moving on.
I can't. I think that Disney has made a horrible mistake in investing time, energy, and money in Munchlings. I don't think they're going to be a thing. I do not think.
No, well, but it seems like there's a ton of that merchandise right now. That Munchling stuff happening.
There is a ton, and it's not getting sold is the problem. So there was a lot of it at the expo, and there was a lot of it every single day. I don't think it ever sold out. And the next day after the expo ended, it was all in the stores, in the Disney stores within the parks, and none of it was moving. From what I could see. So I think they made a mistake with the product.
I feel like Munchling could be your nickname.
Wow, I had a feeling. It was going to be there.
Okay, well, moving on, Munchling.
Great.
Okay, so we have 3 Tweedles who asked a very similar question. They are at CNColeNYC, at Denko Direct, and at Traveling Theater Nerd. They would like to know, was the Oogie Boogie Bash worth it?
Was it worth it? You know what? It was. So I've said this many times before. Disney is pricing a lot of people out of the experiences of these things. They are overpriced. I will say that first and foremost. Will you have a good time though? Yes, you will. Absolutely. I think it's a personal decision then of whether or not the cost benefit analysis weighs out. Do you know what I mean? For me, not a millionaire, obviously. Like it definitely was like, we did think about it for a hot second. We're like, should we buy this? Is one more thing we have to pay money for? We did ultimately do it, and it was worth it. We had an amazing time at the Oogie Boogie Bash. The D23 price was a little bit higher than the other Oogie Boogie prices, and that was, I think, in large part due to they sold less tickets for the D23 event.
Okay, yeah.
I have to believe, because we kind of did most of the things we wanted to do. Obviously, it's a short amount of time to do a lot of stuff, and so we couldn't do everything, but we saw a lot of stuff and had a lot of fun. Got some great photos, and we got a souvenir poster at the end of it, which is beautiful, which I will be framing. It was like a legitimate, really good art print that they gave everybody at the end of the night. So I really think, I know this is kind of a cop-out, I think it's a personal decision of whether or not it's for you. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. I remember me and Mark and the Steamboat Willies, Mark and Roger, we went to a villains night. I want to say it was July of one year when they were doing like a random villains like event in July. And I remember the 3 of us were so stoked for it. I probably wouldn't go again. It was a cool thing to experience, right?
Fair,
but
yeah.
I don't know if I would actually fork over the money to go again. But Mickey's Not So Scary, I will be there every single year.
Oh, interesting.
It's,
okay.
Yeah.
So I look into it. I mean, if you're Halloween party curious, try it out. Try it out once, and if it's for you, you'll know right away. If it's not, don't do it again.
Moving on, the very last Tweedle question.
Oh no, our last question already? Okay.
Yes, last one. And the answer to it cannot be me. But at Wandering Rhino would like to know, who was your favorite villain and which villain should be added next time?
Oh, I have to say Oogie Boogie, actually, at the Oogie Boogie party. That costume and that character is fantastic. It's really beautiful. It's a really good performance that they do. He gets his own room. Like, it's an entire enormous room that is decked out in like his lair, basically, in the movie. It's really incredible.
Nice.
Absolutely incredible. And he talks to you. Like, these aren't like press a button and he has a couple of phrases.
He called you Patrick?
He called me Munchling. Yeah, I was like, I see you. It was great. A couple of new characters that we got to see this year that were outstanding actors were Sid from Toy Story.
Okay, yeah.
The next door neighbor.
I've seen him. Yeah, I've seen like on the feed.
Oh my gosh.
It's amazing.
What a really cool character, and what an improv artist that kid is doing as well. He's doing a great job. There's probably a couple of them, but the one that we saw was impeccable and looked exactly like the Pixar character as well. And the costume, we didn't get to see very much of it because they had to take breaks sometimes, and we happened to go through the line when he was on break. But we came back and saw him from afar, was Ernesto from Coco. That was a really cool character, really cool costume. I was really impressed.
Yeah,
with that.
I've seen pictures of that one and Madame Mim.
Madame Mim was there. We didn't get to see Madame Mim, but apparently it's really amazing. Oh, also, I don't know. It sounded like they were only bringing him out for the D23 event, but maybe that was a lie. But they had Zombie Captain America come out every once in a while too. And that was
morbid,
arousing. Oh, you said morbid. Yeah. I said arousing.
Yeah, yeah, same. I mean, potato.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, both can be the same. Both can be true at the same time. Yeah, that was amazing. I don't know what they bring out so many good villains. You answer that. What would be a villain that you'd want to see?
Oh, I think I would want to see a really engaging Mother Gothel, just because anytime,
good answer.
I mean, I feel like, I feel like it would be a weird, almost like I would, if I could somehow be Mother Gothel. I feel like that's the exact type of improv I would want to do, right?
Yeah,
that sort of like that backhanded compliment kind of. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like I would have the best time. Meet and greeting Mother Gothel.
That would be that's a really good one. I want to see, and this is going to take some Imagineering, obviously, but I have a feeling they're on the track because the Oogie Boogie costume is so good.
Yeah,
it would require a lot of space and it would require a lot of engineering. But if they could pull off an Ursula meet and greet, can you imagine?
I know.
Yeah, it needs to happen. I think that would be absolutely fantastic. So
I think
I'm going to go with that. But Mother Gothel, though, what an easy one to do. It'd be so easy.
I mean, and it would be. I mean, it's a super easy costume, right?
Yeah.
Easy wig. I love Donna Murphy. We actually recently all the hosts here at GDTD had a long conversation the other day about Donna Murphy. But as much as I love Donna Murphy, I always thought it would be hilarious if Mother Gothel would have been voiced by Cher. Because of the hair alone. I don't know why, but I always thought that would be hysterical.
Rapunzel.
Yeah. It was okay. And that's all we have for you guys today. Thank you so much.
Let down your hair. That's my
Okay, so now you actually have to finish this full segment as Cher.
No, I'm not going to do that. Oh no!
I'm gonna have to listen to this episode back and see if it's as funny hearing you say it alone, or if seeing you do it is
because I'm not really doing Cher. I'm more doing like a
some
goat
type of lamb.
Of some kind. Yeah, absolutely that. Absolutely that. Oh boy. No, okay. So, well, thank you to all of our Tweedles who sent in questions, and thank you, Kale, for leading us through this. What I have to believe is a disaster of a trip report, but we'll see on the other end. But what we want to know is from you, Tweedles, what was your favorite announcement coming out of the D23 Expo? What did you experience? Were you there in the parks? Were you there for Oogie Boogie? Let us know your experiences there. You can let us know by reaching out to us on the socials at GDTD Podcast.
Or you can send us a voice memo or email us at info@gaysdothed.com. Patrick, do you know what I wish I could do right now?
What's that?
Turn back time.
Wow. Why? Why bringing Cher back into
Sorry.
it? Don't do it. Oh, I can't do a Cher impression.
You cannot.
It's just a farm animal. I don't know what it is.
It's just a farm animal.
Hey, Kale.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, Kale. I always want to sing the Britney Spears song.
Hey, Patrick. Your name works better. Your name works better.
It does.
That means that means, what, am I Britney and you're Madonna?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, age-wise. I think that...
Wow.
I think that... J. King.
That's fair. Nope, that's totally legitimate. Well, Kale, we've come to the end of the episode, which means it's time for some Quick D.
Hey, Quick D.
There it is.
We found it. We got back.
We got it. We got back on track. Yeah. So Quick D, most recently, I guess, for those of you who have not been listening for the past few weeks, we've been crowdsourcing our Quick D, which I kind of love. I kind of love that the Tweedles are sending in.
Yeah, I do too. It creates less work for me.
That's the only reason, really.
Yes. Yeah.
On board with that. We have two questions, actually. One is sort of a tag-along one, which I think will be fun to end on. And one is a little bit of a deeper question that we can get into, but not be too serious about it. Let's dive in, shall we, Kale?
Let's do it.
Let's dig in. So first is from @Danko Direct saying, Disney World has decided to move because, well, Florida.
Checks.
So where is it moving to and why? Well, I think we've discovered why because Florida, right?
We know the big W. I'm trying to. So I grew up in a really small town, like slightly outside of Atlanta, called Social Circle. And sometime in the early 2000s, Disney actually did buy a ton of land, out on the outskirts of Social Circle. And the people in Social Circle were sort of like, no, not here, that whole thing. But I always thought that would be amazing, like in Georgia, sort of.
Wait, is that a true story?
That's an absolutely true story. That's an incredibly true story. And yeah, so Disney bought all this land and then had no clue what to do with it then, because it was like clear that they weren't going to be able to put like a park or any type of resort or anything. So literally for a couple years, what they did was just set up warehouses, and that was where they did like green screen filming for a little while.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, they had to use the land for something, and it was Georgia had the no filming tax law, still does. And so no filming tax law. The no tax filming law. Sorry.
There it is. We're going to tax you for not filming here
right.
in Georgia. Interesting. Well, I mean, clearly it has to be in a state that you can be in all year long, right? Like my first inkling is like, well, put it in Minneapolis because why not? But it would only be the frozen land, I guess, you could have here in Minneapolis.
It would be Arendelle. Oh, look, there she goes. There's that Elsa. Hey.
Oh, for heaven's sake, it's a snowman.
Hey, are you in there? Do you want to build a snowman?
Oh, do you maybe want to build? Oh, I'm so sorry. Do you want to build a snowman?
No? Okay. Maybe some other time.
There would be no villains.
No
villains here in Minnesota.
No.
Okay, great. So we've decided where it can't be. It can't be in Minnesota, but it could be in Atlanta.
It's going to be. It's going to be in Atlanta.
Do you think?
Yeah. Our unanimous decision is Atlanta.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, this is finally your opportunity to play Jack Sparrow in a Disney park.
You're right. It's everything I was born to do.
You didn't even think about that, did you? Did you? Do you feel like
I sure
your time
didn't?
has
No,
come?
I do. I have the wig.
It's finally your opportunity to make a difference in this world, Kale.
Yeah, I've never dressed up like him, but I needed the wig, just because wig. That's a joke. I did dress up like him once for Halloween, but
we all know that, Kale. You will never let us forget it.
I will not.
I feel like you bring it into every conversation that we ever have. Remember that one? Do you remember that one time I dressed up like Jack Sparrow and people thought that I was him?
Yeah. Well, did it happen to you? So
it did not. I feel like this question is going to bring us into a fight now. So we should move on to
here we go
to the next question.
Yes.
So we've decided Atlanta and not Minnesota, I guess, is where the new Disney park is going to go. Thank you @Danko Direct for that question that has now divided Kale and us immeasurably. Immeasurably. All right, so moving on to our last question, which I think is a fun one that we might be able to like keep going throughout GDTD history.
Okay.
We have at iMicrophone.
Oh, okay. Gosh.
Yeah. Kale, you might know him.
Yeah, I know her.
This is Mark of the Steamboat Willies.
Yes.
Writes in saying, replace one word from a Disney song with your name. And he gives us an example to get the ball rolling. He says, example, a whole new Patrick. Why do we need a new one? I feel like the current one's good. That's fine. Or poor unfortunate Kale. I'm on board with that one. It's a good one.
It fits a tiny bit. Okay, let's think.
I think right off the bat for me would be Patrick Knows Best, right?
I swear you took it right out of my mouth.
Well, Patrick does know best.
I was
Tangled.
about to say, okay.
Again, though, your name doesn't fit into a lot of things.
It doesn't.
For the first time in forever, Kale, you're experiencing what it feels like for the rest of the world in that your name doesn't fit here. You can't sit with us with a one-syllable name.
Hold on. We're not done.
Okay. I got you. I believe in you.
Okay. I remember this one time when I dressed up like Jack Sparrow for Halloween.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
And like I had been like so popular all night and everybody wanted to take pictures and I was like, gosh, I just want to go home. And I remember like looking at myself in the mirror in the bathroom and saying, I just can't wait to be Kale.
Wow. Wow. You know what? I'm going to give you an A for effort.
Thanks.
And a C for execution on that one.
It was good.
Was it though?
A C is passing. I'll take it.
Listen, Patrick knows best, and that was not your best.
Okay. All right. Cool. That will do it for this episode of Gays Do the D. Thanks for listening. To become a patron of the podcast, visit our website at gaysdothed.com/donate. For a donation of any amount, you can receive exclusive Gays Do the D content and help us continue to bring you the very best Disney news and discussions. Continue the conversation after this episode on Instagram and Twitter at GDTD Podcast. Submit your questions or show ideas to info@gaysdothed.com. Have a great week, everybody. See you real soon.